Hey guys, Jate with spiritsvessel.com and the Spirits Vessel YouTube channel, and I am doing the weekly tarot reading for Sagittarius Sun, Sagittarius Moon, and Sagittarius Rising. And if you have a fellow Sagittarius in your life, then this is some good insight as to what they are going through. And we have a full moon in Aquarius, which is a pretty potent full moon. How it's going to affect Sagittarius? Well, anytime we have a full moon, there's always an illumination that happens. There's always a new sense of clarity. Feelings can come up to the surface that were blocking clarity before. So since we're on this Leo Aquarius axis, themes of how can I be myself and still be in the collective and not be shunned and rejected, and maybe I should find a new collective if they don't like who I am. That stuff's coming up. Are you guys needing to change your group around? I don't know. Let's see what the cards say. So I'm using the Santa Muerte Oracle deck. And man, you guys are mellow. Sagittarius is really mellow right now. That's cool. I dig it. I have a Sagittarius sun, so I'm feeling these energies as well, kind of this mellowness. Today's been kind of a weird day. I've been really wanting to do a whole lot. Is that how you guys are feeling? Kind of sluggish? You're kind of burned out from all the fire energy. Wouldn't surprise me. Okay. So 24 in the Santa Muerte deck. I really like this card, actually. And this card is the last card of the formations part of the Santa Muerte deck. And the Santa Muerte deck is 32 cards. There's 4 sections of 8 cards each, and each of them represent different elements of reality. So this is the last card in the formations card section. It's right. So basically you could almost think of the Santa Muerte deck in 2 different parts. There's the first part where it's these ideas that don't have any form yet, but they're sort of coming from this primordial nothingness. They're archetypes, they're abstract ideas. And then you have formations and actions where we're finally taking it and making it physical. So the 24 is the flux card. It's the card right before we get into the work phase. Just the pure action phase where we've finally taken this concept, this idea, and with Sagittarius people, it's always really big. So we've finally taken this big idea and figured out how we're going to ground it out. So remember, this card is showing you where you came from. If you look at that card, that person, they've got the world and they've got the mirror and they're looking at themselves and they've got their ancestors right behind them. So Jupiter just got out of retrograde, which means there's probably going to be a lot of forward momentum with Sagittarians right now. And I feel like I need to say that make sure not to forget where you came from and be very kind. I think there's going to be a lot of abundance for quite a few Sagittarians out there, and I think it's really good to remember. See how this area of the all their hearts are lit up, which is pretty apt because we're in Leo season 2 and Leo rules the heart. You want to make sure that you have this place of compassion for how much work it took to get you to where you're at. Because it takes a village, right? And where you decide to go from here is up to you. And for some Sagittarians out there, you might be feeling like the world is a big mirror to you right now. Look at that person. They're looking in the mirror. And what you see out there in the world is really just a reflection of yourself. Anything that you see projected out there in the screen of life is really what's going on in here and in here. And this could be warning against, old, outdated fears passed along some pretty crazy ancestral lines, and who knows how long it's been in there. And if some of you guys are, you're feeling like you're really about to accelerate quickly and you're being held back again, this ancestor thing, this is really in line with this Aquarius full moon, the collective consciousness. You guys being held back by the collective consciousness of your ancestors? Did they have some limiting beliefs? Full moon would be a good time to address those. Because when you move forward from here, remember, it's all you. Everything is mind. If you feel like you don't like something in someone else, you might have that quality in yourself and you're projecting a little bit. Something to be aware of. Remember, we're creating our own reality. So if you want a happy one, you've got to figure out how to be happy within yourself. Sometimes Sagittarius people, they can get on their high horse about things and become very holier than thou and dogmatic, and because Sagittarius is very good at looking at someone else's life and being able to be very forward thinking in that way and forward thinking with themselves. The problem is that Sagittarius is always looking for the next target, that they have a hard time just staying present. And I think the universe is really asking Sagittarians to stay very present. Having a target and having a goal to shoot for is great. But you'll get there before you know it. And you don't want to look back on your life and regret and wish that you were more present and you did savor moments more. Because once they're gone, you can't get them back. God, this is like so serious for Sagittarius. What the hell is going on? Ugh, God. Okay, so I'm using the Wild Unknown tarot deck. I want to get some more information about this oracle card and just this week in general. And that thought kind of came up out of nowhere. So I think there's a lot of changes that are going to be coming up for Sagittarius, and I think you guys really need to start savoring the moments while you have them, because if you've been going through a bit of a quiet period, I see that ending very quickly, and then you're going to be like, what the hell just happened? So let's see here. We have the Justice card. So card of Libra. This could be a Libra in your life, and this could be some sort of good karma coming back to you. Kind of makes sense with the Jupiter and its forward movement. So if you guys have been planting some good seeds, don't be surprised if you have some really good blessings coming in the future. So yeah, you guys have been going through a pretty tough spot. I really like this card, upright and reverse. The upright card, if you can take a look at, that's that butterfly getting out of the muck. Okay, so maybe on the outside it doesn't feel like you've gotten out of the muck, but internally there's hope there. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. And it's probably that Jupiter getting out of retrograde. Ooh, what? Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Interesting, interesting, interesting. This is I don't have the Wheel of Fortune coming up too often in readings, and when it does come up in readings, I'm always like, that's very fascinating. So if there is an opportunity coming up for you where you're having to take a bit of a risk, which is usually not a problem for Sagittarius. It's almost like if we're not taking risks, we're bored. But take it. I feel like I don't even need to tell you guys that. It's like, yeah, I already did it. I already did that yesterday. But this could really pay off in a big way, in a very big way. I'm also getting the vibe that there's a lot of stuff going on in your guys' life where it's purely intuition. You're just sort of going with things right now. There's people that are like, hey, you want to do this group? And you're like, sure, why not? And there's someone else that's like, hey, you want to do this? And you're like, okay. And you're just like, go, 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 go. And I think you're going to be networking with people. There's going to be relationships that are established during this time that are going to pay off for you in the long run. I'm also feeling for quite a few of you that the opposite is true, because you guys are just kind of getting out of a funk that you've been in. And this Wheel of Fortune is kind of representing this precarious nature that you're in right now. It's feeling like there's nothing really sure yet, but something big is coming. And I think for quite a few of you people, there's this sort of like preparing for it. Like if you guys have been in a legal battle, you know, and you've been waiting to get settlement money, it's something along the lines of that, or an inheritance, and you've been wondering whether or not it's going to come through. It definitely got blocked during that retrograde period. And I think that this Wheel of Fortune is there's a little bit of anxiety, because it's not like, you know, it's not like this is, you know, the Sun card where that's very obvious the abundance is coming. This is like you're turning that Wheel of Fortune and seeing what happens. So yeah, you know, for some of you guys, you're just exhausted. You got 2 6s. So the 6 in numerology is a very healing, very nurturing card. It's also grounding and stability. You have 2 6s here, and these are essentially the same theme. These 2 cards. You're both getting out of the muck. Okay, so like what I said before, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And that kind of makes sense why I was feeling like Leo energy was so bubbly and spacey and crazy, and I had a hard time thinking. Sagittarius is much more somber. Not like, it's just more like, I'm not going to get my hopes up, right? It's like, I did this before where I got too enthusiastic about something. So I'm not going to get my hopes up. However, I totally know it's going to work out in my favor, but I'm going to be really cool and like detached and like I'm not going to like act like I'm really affected by it. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting with like Sagittarius out there, you know. It's like, all right, well, I know it's going to work out in my favor, but there's still that little chance that it might not. The Hierophant. So, card of Taurus. This could be a Taurus person in your life that's really holding it down. This is the middle of this spread so far. And the Hierophant is also someone who is very in touch with their spiritual gifts. They have a little bit of a following because of their spiritual gifts. Also, teacher, mentor. Sagittarius is like the best teacher in all the zodiac. Maybe Gemini is a little bit better, but you know, Gemini and Sagittarius are like great in different ways, and they're on the same axis, so it makes sense. But basically, Sagittarius is a very, very good teacher because Sagittarius tends to go out and experience things and then can take the experiential data and word it in a way to where it makes sense for people. So possibly you guys are realizing that you just got through this crazy karmic phase and you can go out there and tell other people how to get through it. Maybe that's something that you're going through right now. Also, this could be just the fact that I'm really picking this up for some Sagittarians out there, that you guys are wanting, whether or not this is something like I'm feeling like you guys want to change careers and get into teaching. Now, you might have to go back to school to do that, which I think would be not bad. Sagittarius loves going to school, loves learning. But that's kind of what I'm kind of picking up on, is that there's a lot of Sagittarians out there that are really feeling the need to communicate their story. They're feeling the need to go out and teach other people, whether you're wanting to be a life coach, whether you're wanting to be like a personal trainer, whether or not you're wanting to be like a teacher. There's a lot of you out there who are now considering the possibility of doing that, or you're already doing it. And that could be something else too. Father of Wands upright. So this could be a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius in your life. Someone very passionate, very fiery, very enthusiastic. They make decisive actions. So once they've decided to do something, they're already doing it yesterday, which could be good for you because it pulls you out of this gunk that you've been in. I feel like this Father of Wands person is really pulling you out of this, and this could be why there's a light at the end of the tunnel, because they're very much inspiring you. And perhaps this Father of Wands, now this could be, you know, you could have a Taurus person in your life and a fire sign in your life that I'm really feeling like male energy. There's a lot of male energy that are really there for Sagittarius right now. And they're really helpful and on your team, and they see you and it's good. They see you and they like what they see. Ooh, and strength. This is, I love this card. It's the card of Leo. It's coming in reverse. So this is how you guys feel internally. And check out this card. I'm going to turn it around. Isn't that just a beautiful card? I love lion symbolism. I just love it so much. I just love the kitties. Look at that kitty. It doesn't want to zoom in, but it doesn't matter. You guys already got it. So a lot of strength going on with you guys. I think you guys have been through the ringer. I think it's been very, very depressing for you guys during this Jupiter retrograde cycle, and if not before then. And, you know, I'm really sorry that to the Sagittarians out there that have had to go through that. However, it does build strength. And you know what they say, pressure creates a diamond. So it's not all bad. And here we go. The Fool. So you guys are definitely embarking in something new here. Yeah. There's a new adventure afoot, even if you guys don't know what that is yet. You guys are about to get into something that you've never done before. Perhaps you've always wanted to do it. And also, I think because it's coming in reverse. So this is how you feel inside. This could be a new way of being in the world, a new way of seeing yourself. I think you guys don't realize how strong you are. And this shift to realizing that is interesting because when you have a certain identity for so long, certain people have expectations of you to be in that identity. So you have to reorient those relationships to the new identity. That's why some people, like for example, if you're an alcoholic and you are trying to quit drinking, you cannot hang out with your old alcoholic friends because they're gonna orient you to the old identity. You've got to hang around people that don't drink anymore so that you can start anchoring in this new identity and create new boundaries. It's more than a notion to change yourself. There's a lot that goes into changing, especially if you've been a certain way for a long time. So you guys could be going through a bit of an identity crisis. I was feeling the same thing with Leo and Virgo, but with Virgo it was different. With Virgo it was just, man, with Virgo it was like all these people in their life were really just crapping all over them. And with you guys, it's a little different. I don't feel like you guys are in that phase anymore where you have people crapping all over you, but I think you're still nursing those wounds and you're just getting out of it. And Father of Pentacles, upright. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, someone who is very mature, very practical, very grounded, very pragmatic. Could be a male or female, but someone who takes action, someone who, when they say they're going to do something, they do it. This person could be helping you out as well. Could be a good influencing person in your life. I'm really feeling like Sagittarians right now are surrounded by people who they can trust. And I think that's a really good thing. And the last card, the Two of Wands in reverse. So, I think kind of the overall I'm getting from this is that, I think a lot of Sagittarians out there were taking a lot of big risks and they weren't paying off for a very long time. And that was a bummer because it was just one loss after another. But it's never really a loss, right? I mean, it's really not. If you keep going, it's not a loss. It's just an experience. But I think it was because Sagittarians are so used to having good luck. And most of the time, we do get what we want. I think there was just a lot of pain having such colossal, seemingly failures. It's never a failure if you keep going. But I think there's a lot of caution now with, I think a lot of Sagittarians out there are very, very cautious, which is not a bad thing. But don't forget, you are a Sagittarius and taking risks is what we do. Sagittarians take risks. And I think that now you've got this fire energy and it's very directed. And instead of just taking a risk for the sake of taking a risk, it's now like, let me get some facts in order before I go and do that. I'm still going to jump off that cliff and it's going to be totally fun, but I'm going to make sure I've got the best bungee cord because last time it snapped on me, and that's because I didn't double check it. That was my fault. I got too eager. Okay, so the Two of Wands is always really, I like seeing that card in a spread, because in this spread, in the Rider-Waite spread, it's like you're having to make a decision. But in this one, it's more like the decision is pretty easy and obvious, and we're both, whatever indecisiveness I had, it's, like if I have my heart and my mind that are kind of debating about it, they seem to both be in line with this. And I am feeling this as it's either, I'm really feeling big time career, although it could just be a shifting of identity for you guys. And then at the bottom of the deck, can't make it up, Temperance. So, card of Sagittarius, upright. You guys are in a really peaceful place right now. That's good. That's really good. So, I think that's it. I think that's all that's coming in right now. Yeah, I think you guys are taking things really slowly, because there's still some somberness, but this card tells me everything. You guys are going to be getting some really cool rewards soon. I think justice is in your favor. So that's all I got. If you find that reading resonated with you, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting all kinds of tarot readings and astrology readings and maybe cat videos. I don't know. But yeah. And then if you would like a personal reading with me, head on over to my website at www.spiritsvessel.com, and I will link it down below in the description box. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.